In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 MLB games happening on August 4th, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. San Francisco Giants versus Pittsburgh Pirates. The new MLB week kicks off with a National League showdown between the San Francisco Giants, who are sitting at 56-56, and the Pittsburgh Pirates. The San Francisco Giants haven't lived up to their own expectations after picking up Rafael Devers from the Boston Red Sox. Ever since that big trade, their bats have gone quiet, and they've slipped in the NL wildcard chase. Right now, they're trailing by 6 games for that last wildcard slot, so they need to heat up quick if they want any shot at playing into October. Justin Verlander hasn't delivered in his first year with the Giants, putting up a 4.53 earned run average and a 1.49 WHIP. He did handle the Pirates well in his most recent outing against them, but now he's facing a quick rematch on the road, away from his usual friendly home park. Johan Oviedo put in 177.2 innings with some solid starts for the Pirates back in 2023 before an injury sidelined him for the entire next season. Now he's back in the Pirates rotation, facing the Giants this Monday, and he's out to show he can still contribute to the staff. As a Pirates fan, I'm pulling for him to shake off the rust and maybe even improve, since he's only 27. That said, I'm not thrilled about betting on him right after an injury layoff, with possible jitters or shakes, but I still like his chances better than Verlander's here. As our first pick for this matchup, the Pittsburgh Pirates money line is our full game side pick. Verlander looks like a faded version of his old self at 42, giving up 30 hits and 13 earned runs over his last 21.2 innings. On the road, in 38.1 innings, he's got a 4.93 earned run average, and opponents are hitting .291 against him. Oviedo hasn't thrown a pitch since 2023 while recovering from Tommy John surgery, so it's anyone's guess how he'll perform. I'm not too confident in either guy on the mound, and neither team is exactly dominating lately. I see this one turning into a slugfest with plenty of runs. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Minnesota Twins versus Detroit Tigers. Minnesota is looking to break out of a rough 4-game skid as they head to Comerica Park on Monday night for the opener of a 3-game set against Detroit. The Tigers just dropped a series in Philadelphia, but they hung tough in every game, and their starters threw some quality innings. Detroit's been strong at home with a 36-21 record this season, while Minnesota's struggled big time on the road at 22-35. The Twins have dropped 4 of their past 5, and they got gutted at the trade deadline. Minnesota's going with Woods Richardson on the mound, who's given up 6 earned runs in his last 7.2 innings. The Tigers are countering with Mize, who surrendered 5 earned runs and 13 hits across his last 2 outings, which added up to just 5.2 innings. I'm not wild about how Casey Mize has been pitching lately, but it's tough to get behind the Twins after all the pieces they dumped at the deadline. They cleared out a bunch of their relievers and everyday guys. What started as a team with some playoff hopes this year has turned into one that's stocking up prospects for down the road. Detroit's pushing hard for the division crown, and I just trust the path they're on a lot more right now. I figure Mize can turn it around here against a thinned-out Minnesota lineup. As our first pick for this matchup, the Detroit Tigers money line is our full game side pick. The Twins are putting up 4.15 runs a game on average and manage just 2.33 per game over their last 3. They're hitting .242 off righties, up against a starter who's let in 3 runs in his past 2 starts at home. The Tigers are averaging 4.85 runs a game and poured on 6 per game in their last 3. They're batting .245 against righties, facing a guy who coughed up 4 runs in his last 2 turns against them. The Tigers and Twins played under the total in 4 of their last 5 meetings. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Houston Astros versus Miami Marlins. The Houston Astros are set to clash with the Miami Marlins in an interleague matchup at Lone Depot Park on Monday evening, kicking off a 3-game series. The Astros have been stumbling lately, dropping 6 of their last 8 games, and now they're sending Alexander to the mound, who's been roughed up for 33 hits and 21 earned runs over his last 25.2 innings. That's far from encouraging. Meanwhile, the Marlins are riding a wave of momentum as the hottest team in baseball. Back in June, they were 16 games under .500, but they've clawed their way to even after sweeping the Yankees. Alcantara is hitting his stride too, giving up just 7 hits and no earned runs across his last 12 innings. There's an electric vibe around this Marlins squad right now, and I'm not about to bet against them. As our first pick for this matchup, the Miami Marlins money line is our full game side pick. The Marlins showed this weekend against the Yankees that they can grind out wins in tight, low-scoring battles and also dominate in high-scoring affairs. They racked up 21 runs over that 3-game series. They've also gone over the total in 3 of Alcantara's last 5 starts. On the other side, the Astros could see a spike in offense in this series after struggling at the plate in Boston. They've gone over the total in 3 of Alexander's last 5 outings. This game has all the makings of a high-scoring shootout down in Miami. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Baltimore Orioles versus Philadelphia Phillies. On Monday, the Baltimore Orioles, sitting at 51-60 and 5th in the American League East, head out for the first game of a 3-game set against the Philadelphia Phillies. Jesus Luzardo and the Philadelphia Phillies are gearing up to host Cade Povich and the Baltimore Orioles this Monday evening. I'm leaning toward the Phillies not just winning but covering the run line too. With that home crowd energy giving them a boost, they look stronger in the starting pitching department and their lineup stacks up better on paper for this one. Baltimore shipped off a bunch of important players at the trade deadline, basically waving the white flag on this season's playoff hopes and shifting focus to rebuilding for next year and the ones after. Their bats don't pack the same punch anymore, and even though Luzardo's had his ups and downs this year, he's hands down the more skilled pitcher starting today. Cade Povich has racked up a 5.15 earned run average so far this season, and he's not the kind of guy I usually feel good putting money on. He's more of a finesse pitcher who doesn't rack up a lot of strikeouts, and the Phillies are mostly healthy heading into this stretch. I just don't see him getting through this Phillies batting order without trouble, and even if he somehow does, that bullpen behind him doesn't inspire much confidence. As our first pick for this matchup, the Philadelphia Phillies to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. As I said, Povich has been all over the place in his rookie season up in the big leagues. On the flip side, Luzardo has a habit of serving up homers and letting opponents string together big innings. The Phillies are hitting the ball sharp right now, so expect them to take advantage of Povich's weaknesses while sticking to their solid approach at the plate. At the same time, Luzardo has given up 3 dingers in his last 3 starts, and with Baltimore ranking in the top 10 for home run rate, they could bust open an inning or 2 against him. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Cleveland Guardians versus New York Mets. Cleveland is aiming to grab an early edge in the series as they roll into Citi Field on Monday night for the opener of a 3-game interleague clash with New York. New York is coming into this set after dropping 5 of their last 6, still scrapping with the Phillies for the top spot in the National League East. The Mets have been tough to beat at home with a 38-18 record this year, while the Guardians are hovering around .500 on the road at 27-28. Cleveland's picked up wins in 4 of their last 5, but those came against a couple of weak squads. The Guardians are turning to Ciccone on the mound, who's given up 3, 2, and 6 earned runs in his past 3 starts. The Mets are going with Mania, who's been stingy, allowing just 1 earned run in each of his last 3 outings. It's a solid matchup on the hill, but I don't see Cleveland's bats keeping up. As our first pick for this matchup, the New York Mets money line is our full game side pick. The Guardians stayed under the total in 2 of their last 3 games, and the Mets did the same in 3 of their last 4. Cleveland's averaging 3.93 runs a game overall and put up 4.33 per game in their recent 3. They're hitting .229 against righties, facing a starter who's let in 3 runs over his last 3 starts. The Mets are averaging 4.40 runs a game and tallied 5 per game in their last 3. They're batting .24 one-off righties, up against a guy who surrendered 4 runs in his last 3 road appearances. I wouldn't count on these clubs lighting up the scoreboard enough to go over the total. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.